Hey, now that fall is here and winter is rapidly approaching, there's a question I've been getting from a lot of my viewers. They're wondering if because the weather is getting colder and people are wearing thicker clothing and eventually heavy jackets, should they be changing either their carry gun or at least the ammo that they are carrying in that gun? Well, I know why people ask this question. If you're someone like me when you were younger and you read the detective magazines and the handgun magazines, etc., you know that there are reported cases of police officers being saved when they've been shot because they were wearing a heavy wool coat. You know, they wore those heavy wool coats in the wintertime, especially in places like Chicago and New York. And there are documented cases where someone shot at them, sometimes at very close range, and that thick, heavy, wet wool, especially if it's wet outside, has protected them from being seriously harmed. So people wonder, if I'm fighting against someone who's wearing a heavy coat, well, might do the same for them. Well, in the cases of those jackets, they were extremely thick and they're wool. And wet wool is very strong. So that's a very specific situation. But you also have to remember that they were being shot by the calibers that were most common and relevant at the time. You know, 32 ACP, 25 ACP, things like that. Sometimes 38 special, but usually the smaller calibers. So in those cases, yeah, it did save their life. I'm not going to dispute the cases that happened. I'm going to say, okay, yeah, in those specific circumstances, their coat saved them. But that's not today. That's, like I said, then. That's the ammo of then. That's the calibers of then. It's also the jackets of then. You don't see very many people wearing like an inch thick wool jacket nowadays. We have insulations that are much thinner and more efficient and lighter. You have Thinsulate, everything like that. So I don't really think you're going to run into someone with a big thick wool wet coat on. But even if you did, today's calibers are stronger than those calibers, especially the ones that are common, and the bullets are designed better. So if you're carrying something like a .357 Magnum, it ain't going to matter what they're wearing or what type of ammo you're using, whether it's hard cast, full metal jacket, hollow points, solid copper, whatever. It's going to do just fine. You're not going to have to worry about what they're wearing if they're wearing anything short of body armor. So you'll be fine. Don't worry about changing your gun. Don't worry about changing your ammo. Now, if you're carrying something like one of the most prevalent calibers of this age, 9mm, and I don't know why you would be carrying 9mm. Maybe you're an invalid, disabled, or maybe you're a small child. Whatever reason, let's say you're carrying 9mm. Well, the 9mm of today can do just fine. You're not going to have to worry at all. That bullet is going to penetrate whatever they're wearing. It's not going to matter. As long as you're carrying any type of defensive ammo, you're going to be okay. The thing that's most likely to happen if they are wearing a lot of layers of clothing, anything within reason, not out to here with layers of clothing, but if they're wearing thick clothing, the worst thing that's going to happen to you is likely to be that hollow point is going to clog and it's going to function like a full metal jacket. So no reason to change your ammo. You'll be just fine even if you're carrying 9mm with modern ammo out of modern firearms. You'll be fine. There's no reason to change your gun or your carry ammo unless you're carrying something like a .380 maybe, or a .32, or maybe even a .38 special, little snub nose. If it'll make you feel better to switch to a round that's designed for penetration like an Underwood, go right ahead. If you want to switch to full metal jacket, go right ahead. It's about your peace of mind. If you feel better, go ahead and do it. But like I say, if you're carrying 9mm or up, I wouldn't worry about it. So no reason to change your gun or your ammo, at least not because of the weather and what people are wearing. Now, there is one circumstance I want to talk about right now why you would change your gun or your ammo, or both maybe, because of the month. And that is because it is October. And I think most of you out there, I don't have to tell, October is kind of a crazy month. And if you've been paying attention to my videos lately, there's been some crazy shit going on. One day I come in, my camera's been all fucked with. Looked like a bunch of spider monkeys had broke in and fucked with my camera. I don't know what happened. The next day I come in, my revolver safe has been TP'd. Who TPs things anymore? It's so childish. I blamed my sons for it, but now I don't think they did it. They said they didn't, and now I kind of believe them. Because those couple of things, those were just childish mischief. But today I come in, I go to open my revolver safe. What do I find inside? My 686 Plus is in the corner of the safe sobbing. Just inconsolably crying. And as soon as I let him out, he runs outside, starts washing himself under the spigot. And the whole time he's mumbling, oh, can't get clean, I'll never be clean. And he's been there since I let him out today. It's been like an hour that he's been taking a shower outside. So that's a little more serious. Now, I know a lot of people have been pointing out to me in the live chats and stuff like, oh, you should see what's going on. I hope you know who's doing this stuff. Because when I said I blame my kids, they're like, what are your kids? I'm not stupid. I figured it out. I know who's doing it. I know what's going on. And given our previous history, this is no surprise. I know exactly who's doing this stuff. It's werewolves. Werewolves and I don't get along. I think everyone out there knows that. I am a firm believer of being prepared for werewolves, and they don't like that. They don't like anyone that spreads the word. And this is October. This is the month they are the most active. And this is a special October because there's 2 full moons this month. Now, I don't want to give anybody the impression that werewolves only change under the full moon. That's pro-werewolf propaganda straight from the werewolves themselves. But under a full moon, they do change. They're forced to change under a full moon. They have no choice of that. And there's 2 this month. And because they have such a close set there of full moons during 1 month, they're really governed by their feral behavior, their feral mindset during the month of October. They're usually like that during October anyway, for one reason or another. It's the witching hour. I don't know what's going on, but this month especially. So I am making a change to my carry ammo this month. I won't be carrying 1 silver bullet in this gun like I usually do. This month it's going to be loaded with all 7 silver bullets. Because I'm going to be ready for werewolves. I know what they've been up to. I see it all here. I finally figured it out. The problem here is werewolves. And I, for one, am going to be prepared when they come back. Hey, this is the Yankee Marshal, just reminding everyone out there that if you disagree with anything I say in any one of my videos, be it something political or tactical, I am going to give you the opportunity to come talk to me face to face instead of just having to put stuff in comment sections where someone might not even read them. You can come in one of my live chats and tell me off in person. You just have to send an email to shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com, and in the subject line of that video put slap the yank, and then I will get back with you and set up a time where you can come in one of the live chats and tell me off face to face.